Hello, welcome to Techtalk with IEAZY. It's another episode on which I'll be talking about who's boss between Qualcomm and MEDIATEK. But before I continue, I'd love you to do something for me which is in less than 10 seconds. Like this video, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and follow this page if you're on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, today most of us use Android phones and then we are not really aware of which chipset are we using on it. Is it the MediaTek or the Qualcomm? There's also the Kirin, which is mostly not popular in this region, but the most two popular ones in Nigeria here is MediaTek and the Qualcomm. The MediaTek is mostly called MediaTek Helio G series, and then the Qualcomm is always the Snapdragon, so 890, things like that. That's how it goes. Now, talking about this, I would love you to get familiar with the term SoC. And what is SoC? SoC, that is system on chip, are the segments on the chipset which are responsible for different functions. They include the CPU, the GPU, the network connectivity, which is responsible for 4G. You know, there's some phones that you buy them, it comes with two variants. For example, the Infinix series, they tell you, okay, you have Note 8 and you have Note 8 Lite, for example, and then they tell you the Lite doesn't have a 4G, but the normal one has a 4G. That means if the 4G model is not on the chipset, that is on the SoC, it won't be available on this phone. Now we can see that the SoC is basis of your phone. Yeah. Talking about the differences, I'll first start with the CPU. The architect of the CPU is made by ARM architecture. They are the ones that actually build this basis for this MediaTek and Qualcomm. And now, the only difference is this: for both MediaTek and the Qualcomm, it is being made by the ARM architecture. They are the ones that design the main basis of how this chipset will look like. Well, what the chipset is being designed is to reduce power consumption and then improve performance. Well, for MediaTek, they really don't alter anything on the architecture, but for the Qualcomm, what they do is this: they try to reduce some things on it which totally reduces power consumption, and then it improves the performance. Now, let me make an example. Okay, most of you all know, you say you are using a quad core, an octa core phone. Now, if you are using a quad core, that means it has 4 cores. 2 will be working for high temperature, regulating it down, and also 2 will be regulating for the low temperature, which will make it a balance. So now if you have a well optimized phone, you really have excess heat unless you're actually doing too much or excess work on the phone. Now, I will be talking next about the GPU. Well, the GPU mostly is responsible for some apps, especially when you're gaming, like the speed and everything. Well, for the MediaTek runs on Mali, and then for the Qualcomm, it runs on Adreno. What happens is this: most gaming apps have a specific GPU they work on. Some are fully run on Adreno. That means if your friend installs a file, probably an heavy game, and then you are unable to install it too, this is what happens. Probably you are actually using a chipset that doesn't support the game, and that comes down to the GPU, wherein probably the game is built on a full Adreno and then you are using a Mali. Do you get the point? So that is where you say that, okay, you install a game and then your friend can't install the game. So if it is not balanced, but there are some chipsets that, under Helio and Qualcomm, that both games can run on. Most files can run on both, but sometimes it has differences wherein it only works on a particular chipset. Probably it will be on the Qualcomm, or it will be on the Mali, that is the MediaTek chipset. Lastly, I'll be talking about the performance. Yeah, just short. The performance, well, for the MediaTek, it is mainly run on budget or budget-friendly phones. Yeah, let me use that word. And then the Qualcomm is used on high-end phones. Yeah. The thing is this: MediaTek, they really don't as I said earlier, they don't really alter a lot of things on their architecture, and then they bring it out as it is, and it is quite cheap, no extra cost of anything. But for Qualcomm, they go an extra mile, which makes their products expensive a little bit. But what they do is this. Now, for example, if you're actually running a particular, let's say a particular app. Now, if you open your camera and then probably start with pictures and you are checking it, it's processing the images. If you're using a MediaTek, both the CPU and the GPU goes to do that job. Like the full time go there and make sure the process image, which starts to generate it. But for the Qualcomm, what they do is this. Once you open an app like that and then you start some pictures, just a single module, not a CPU, not the GPU, but a single module is going there to work for that particular point. It's actually the one representing, okay, you guys should just chill, I'm coming, let me just go and attend to this. So it reduces the workload on the CPU and GPU, and then it only faces that aspect. This is what happens when that, okay, you have low power consumption on the Qualcomm, because it actually splits. Okay, let me just make a simple analogy which you might know. Now imagine a baby is crying and then the parents are actually so busy, but they have a nanny. Instead of the parents coming down, leaving what they are doing, which will actually still take time, they send down a nanny which will attend to the baby. So they are still doing their job, and then a nanny comes there, attends to the baby, and everything is settled. So this is what happens. So now it makes Qualcomm products quite expensive, and then it's used on high-end phones like Samsung, Xiaomi, and things like that. While for the regular brands, or for the budget or pocket-friendly phones, just like the local Infinix, Techno, Itel, and some Oppo phones, they use MediaTeks. It is quite easy to use, and then it's also cost efficient. So that is what the thing is. Both chipsets are fine. Depends on the amount in your pocket. If you have sufficient amounts to go for high-end phones like Samsung's or the Xiaomi's, you are fine, you enjoy it. And if you are using a pocket-friendly phone, that is, price is friendly and it is cheap to your pocket and it can do what you want, MediaTek is okay. There are some phones that are quite costly too that are using MediaTek. It's not like MediaTek is bad. Though people say Qualcomm, that is the Snapdragon, is fine, it's okay. Yes, it is. Also, the MediaTek, that is the Helios G series, are also wonderful. Well, this is where I'll be stopping today. Till next time I come your way and I'll be talking about a wonderful, nice topic, or we'll be reviewing a phone. Till then, stay safe, be fine, enjoy yourself, and also like this page. Like it now. Stay safe.